Throwdown!
And we're off.
Hey, we got another partner throwdown. This is actually one of my favorites. There's no barbell, nothing heavy. I can do it.
There you go. Prove it.
Chris, you got to do it with me.
All right.
So, partner workout, but also a really good, like it's partner, but you can push yourself as an individual really hard in this workout.
Totally.
So it's not just like a you go, I go, like you're working continuously the whole time, and it's like as you put in as much as you possibly can, along with your teammate, but you're not waiting on anybody. So it's not a partner workout in the sense where you get to rest at all.
Yeah, and there's ways to gain this workout, but you still have to push the bike and the run if you want an overall good time on this. So, Mia, you started out on the bike. Was there any point in going a little bit harder on your first bike, or were you trying to be a little bit more conservative?
Maybe the first 20 seconds I went a little harder than the pace that I wanted to sustain, but I knew that the run pace was going to be worth more because a calorie on the bike for me was about 5 seconds if I'm not sprinting, and I'm not going to be sprinting in this workout. So when I think of how much work it is to take off, to get that one calorie that takes 5 seconds to take 1 second off of the run, it was just for me more important to hold a strong run pace and then on the bike stay sustainable.
Yeah, we talked about this off camera, but I think it's important for guys, especially if you wanted an elite level score. You still have to push the Echo a little bit more because they're just a little bit more high powered. For female teams or male-female teams, you're probably going to need to pick your poison. Like the male maybe wants to sprint a little bit more in the Echo to load up on cows, but to Mia's point, the run is going to matter the most, and you can't pace the run. You've got to make sure you're a little bit more aggressive there and then just try to recover on the bike.
Right. So pace-wise, I thought I would try to stay minimum at my 5K pace on the run, but hopefully faster. I ended up being able to hold significantly faster than my 5K, and then on the bike a little bit faster than my 30-minute pace, which felt perfect. I was still taking over calories, but I could get off of the bike and be confident that I would still be hitting my run paces. So that worked out pretty well for me. If you have those numbers, you can use those as a framework.
So was this more breathing limited, or did you feel like it was more leg or local endurance in the hamstrings or glutes when you're doing the workout?
I'd say a little bit of a leg pump.
Yeah.
But that is usually my limiter when I'm running. So that's more of a athlete specific thing. But knowing that, I knew that if I went too hard on the bike, that I was going to be jeopardizing the run pace.
Right. Yeah, I actually tested this out with my wife a couple months ago, and it was very leg limited for me. I also sprinted the bike just because I wanted to see if I could maintain my run paces. But for those that blow up early on runs, like their hamstrings, your glutes blow up, then you just need to be aware of that, especially going back and forth with the Echo, which is just super demanding on the legs.
Yeah, and I think this is a cool test to have at the beginning of the off season, and it's kind of a similar concept to a progression that we're running in Compete with the run and Echo bike, but knowing your paces is so important. So if you hear me say faster than my 5K pace, slower or about my 30-minute pace, if you don't know those things, then you're missing out on a lot of data that's really important for you as an athlete. So maybe this sparks you to kind of dig into figuring that stuff out and knowing if you see this workout written and you have no idea what pace to hold, then you're doing a disservice to yourself.
Why does that help you?
Because
you want to explain?
Because you need to know what you're capable of. In a workout like this, there's a mile of running, but you know it's going to be double that amount of time because your teammate is also running. So what I would look at the total, say 14-minute workout, what run pace can I sustain in that while under leg fatigue? If you haven't done run training, you're going to have no idea what that is. And you're just going to go out and feel good on round one and run fast. And then after that, just turn into a crawl. And also you don't learn anything about yourself that way. And you don't know how to get better at these things.
And the same thing's true if you're doing let's say it's an open style workout where there's toe to bar and ring muscle ups and handstand push-ups. Mia, you still need to know what's my max unbroken set, what can I do in a 10-minute AMRAP versus maybe a 3-round workout that only has 20 handstand push-ups versus 50 handstand push-ups. People should know what their numbers are and how fast and how big of sets they can do so that they can pace appropriately.
Yeah, for sure. you run into athletes all the time that are just like, what should I do in this workout? And my answer is always, you have to tell me first. Like,
Exactly.
you should know, all right, based off of these metrics that I have done in the past, this is what I think I should do. And then from there, we build a strategy, make corrections. But you have to have a concept of yourself if you're trying to be competitive in the sport. And if you finish, I didn't mean for this to turn into a lecture, but if you finish these, like just thinking of the throwdowns, they're testers. If you finish them and you don't put any thought into how you did, what you broke up, where did your plan work or not work, how could you have done better, then you're losing out on a lot of growth that can come with it.
Totally. We saw that in quarterfinals where, in particular, the gymnastics workout, which was toe to bar and the handstand push-ups and then handstand push-ups, rope climb. A lot of people went out and did these giant sets of handstand push-ups or toes to bar, and then they blew up by the third round of the toe to bar. And they're like, well, my capacity is limited. It's like, well, maybe it is, but what if you just broke your toe to bar into sets of 5? You could have got through that in a minute faster, and that would have gave you more time on the rope climbs or whatever else you were limited by.
For sure. This workout was hard because we set the runner to kilometers, and I don't speak in kilometers.
With your pace, you mean?
Yeah.
Like trying to figure that out.
So the whole time I'm trying to calculate it.
It is nice, though, seeing the actual meters on,
Yeah.
as opposed to it being the mile where you have to
Yeah.
get to 0.25, which
Yeah.
is like complicated in my brain.
Now, I will say, James and Lisa have the new Echo bike.
Ooh.
So
That's worth about half a cal a minute.
Really?
I would say so. I mean, they're much smoother for sure. For anybody that's been on those new ones, you know what I'm talking about. The belts get a little run down on these older ones where they're like squeaky.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But I think, maybe this is in my head, but I think we had now I don't think it's faster, but the air runner we had felt better because whatever it's called.
Yeah, the belt is smoother on the air runner.
Yeah,
on that
like
side
it's not
too.
as clunky.
It's so funny though because we test on these in the CrossFit space, but we know from
They're
bike
all
to bike
different.
or runner to runner they are different. Even the
sometimes
rowers
it's
sometimes
wildly different.
Yeah, I think most of ours are. We try to keep them in good shape, so they're pretty similar. All right, so this is the last little bit. You can see Mia is sprinting here, and it is 2 times speed, so everyone's like, we're going fast. But you could tell that you picked up your stride.
Yeah, so we finished at 14 minutes, and then we had 178 calories. Rollover don't count. Does not count.
Don't count. It does not.
So subtracting, what was the total?
So
on that?
14 minutes minus 178 calories. Each cal is a second, so your total time would be 11 minutes and 2 seconds, which is very, very good. Beat that, folks.
And then they finished at 14:51 with 191 calories, so they had a good amount more of calories. But this just shows that, because what did you say that equaled out to?
11:40.
11:40.
Yeah.
So the run pace is just going to be where you should put your priority here.
It definitely matters much more than the Echo bike, but I would challenge some people. If you're good on the Echo bike, push it a little bit and see where you stand.
Cool.
All right.
It's a wrap, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Project Pata in this thing, man. Hey, look, man, thank y'all for watching Training Think Tank's YouTube channel. Y'all hit that motherfucking subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead, man. Thank y'all for watching the channel, you know what I'm saying? Hit that motherfucking subscribe button. Let it be known, what it be known, what it be known, you know what I'm saying? Pata.